They were founded in 2014 by Dr. Demetrius Moss, with a launch heard throughout the nation, igniting a movement in black nurses nationwide. Good morning, I'm Ed James, and this is Black Almanac. Theirs is an organization with a focus, fostering a positive environment of professional growth and development. They provide support and membership to nurses in an effort to elevate their profession and improve our communities. Today's guests, representing the Bradenton, Sarasota chapter of Black Nurses Rock, President Shanika Lovett, RN, and Vice President Shanice Lee, LPN, and Melanie Franklin, LPN. Dr. Washington Hill from the Florida Department of Health, Sarasota County, joined the discussion. Ladies and Dr. Hill, I thank you for coming and sharing something with our audience that I think most of them don't know. You represent a group that is relatively new to the area, Bradenton and Sarasota, but you've been around since 2014, I understand. And that is Black Nurses Rock. Now, how do Black Nurses rock?
Well, we have a platform where nurses professionally share and impact the community in a positive manner. We want to create innovative leaders, help with health disparities in our community, and a lot of times we don't see black nurses in our community as role models. So this is our platform and our opportunity to give back, and that's exactly what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. How did you hear about it and get involved?
Well, I noticed it was a Facebook page, and I started following the page, and it was a platform for black nurses to vent, share their accomplishments, and just connect and interact with each other. And I liked what I saw, and I looked into how do you join. And Shakia and I have worked together previously, and I messaged her to find out, well, how do you join the local chapter? And she told me, well, you go to www.blacknursesrock.com.
She gave you the process.
Yes.
And you took advantage of it.
And I took advantage of it.
And what about you?
Well, Shakia approached me about joining our chapter, and so I looked up who we are and what we do, and what really resonated with me was the fact that in the mission statement we are to educate and serve our community, and I felt like if we could do that right here as nurses and continue to promote nursing, that is something that I want to be involved with.
You know, while this is about black nurses, Dr. Hill, I know you've spent at least a Sarasota lifetime in being involved with disparities and the community served and many, many things. What do you think of an organization like this?
It's needed. I think it's needed for a number of reasons, and I'm sure I won't mention them all. I think it's important for young people in our community to have good mentors. And this organization will help our young people, primarily the girls and ladies and women in our community, realize their potential. That is very important, as we'll, I hope, get a chance to touch on. And the other thing that comes to my mind is that when one of our people are sick in the hospital, they feel better when they see someone who's taking care of them that looks like them. Whether it's a nurse or a physician, I can't tell you the number of times someone has stopped me in the hallway and said, "I'm glad that you're here." And now that we have the residents, I'm sure they're doing the same thing. So I think that also helps our community feel more comfortable when they're in that foreign environment of a hospital.
As I was doing research, I found that one of the things that I guess I was shocked that you were not just in the United States. You were in several foreign countries too. So I guess black nurses are wherever black people are. In some places where there are no black people.
That's right.
Except the black nurses.
That's right.
But when I first talked to Mrs. Lee on the phone, and she talked to me about coming on the program, and said the name of the organization was Black Nurses Rock. So I said, now, how do black nurses rock? Yeah. And then I was pleasantly surprised because I read your mission statement, and I see what you do. And as Dr. Hill said, there are so many times when our children, whether it's in the school system or in the hospital or in law enforcement, they don't see large numbers, in some cases, any numbers, of people who look like them. How do you do your community service? I mean, how do you get out and get the message known to folk that you all exist, and talk to them about careers or speaking to them, to groups?
So a lot of things we've been doing, being a part of health fairs, educating the people at the health fairs, encouraging nurses, encouraging nursing students, as well as the community at large. We've just been really encouraging them to be a part of Black Nurses Rock, to be educated on their medications, how to take their blood pressure. We do blood pressure screenings at these health fairs. We also have done a youth, it was a youth explosion, something like it was a youth summit last year we did, where we had like 30 kids. We gave out free books. We talked about nursing, how to become a nurse, the career path to becoming a nurse. So we have a number of ways that we use to get out and provide resources to the community.
Just recently, one of our longtime and early black nurses passed away, Miss Gwendolyn Atkins. Some of you may know her. And
I did.
And one of the things that, as we think about people like Mrs. Atkins, even in her retirement, she was still inspiring people and being involved and getting them to join this organization or that organization and things to do. And Sarasota has a unique history. You know, in addition to talking to our guests, we like to give history lessons because we have so many people who move to the community and say that they're in paradise and don't know how this paradise that they call it came about. The first high school graduating class of Booker High School was in 1935. Now, there was Sarasota High School that was older than Booker High School. However, black folk couldn't go to Sarasota High School. They could only go to Booker High School. And in that class, of 1935, my mother was a member of that class, and she used to say, half of my class became teachers. And I said, Mother, and how many was that? She said, 2, because there were 4 in the first class. It was Mrs. Martina Riley, who taught many people in Sarasota County, and my mother, and a brother and sister from a family, the Williams family. And one of them was a nurse. But she ended up going away to Philadelphia to work first because it just wasn't happening. And my grandmother was a part of the Negro Women's Club who petitioned the War Department. Sarasota Braden Airport was an airfield in the old days.
Right.
And they asked, when they closed that airfield, they asked for 2 things. If they could get one of their barracks to put on the campus of the then Sarasota Memorial Hospital, because blacks couldn't go to the Memorial Hospital. And there was a little crossover, and there are 2 barracks there. And the first blacks in Sarasota Memorial Hospital did not go inside the hospital. They were in the barracks that were attached to the hospital.
It's where they had their babies,
Yes. And
out back of the hospital.
so you all come from a profession that is long struggle in this community. But those who were ahead of you fought some of the battles, and I'd like to think in some way it inspired people before you who may have inspired you all to do what you do.
Totally agree.
And you all have to continue to inspire young people to do what you do. I mean, that's what I do. That's what Dr. James does. I've frequently said, and I've said it more recently, when you have a platform, when God gives you a platform, either use it or get off the stage. And I think Dr. James would agree with me. Many of us in this community have been given a platform for whatever reason, good or bad. And it's up to us, and it's up to you 3 to use that platform to help other young people, nurses, doctors, to do better. Because we're not going to be here forever. We might think we're going to be here forever, but we're not going to be here forever. And please use your platform of Black Nurses Rock.
Thank you.
How does one get in touch with the organization?
Well, they can connect with us at some of our events that we have coming up. We also have a Facebook page, Black Nurses Rock Bradenton Sarasota Chapter. And they can inbox us and also look at the BNR national website as well, if they'd like to learn more information.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody needs to call you. We have a full screen that we're going to put up with your logo on it.
Okay.
And the names of you all, as I know we have the president's name on it and the vice president. And we have the president is an RN, the vice president an LPN, and Ms. Franklin, the other member here, is an LPN.
Correct.
Now, you all are the second black nursing organization in America,
Right.
but you're the largest.
Yes.
Now, so that means that you got a really big job to do.
Yes.
That's true.
And because there are probably people say now, which one of these organizations do I want to join?
Mm-hmm.
And I say join both of them
I agree.
because they all have something that one may have something that the other one doesn't have.
Right.
Now, you all have a convention coming up in Orlando sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk about that a little bit, and maybe some folk, because I'm sure you're going to have some education nights there at that convention,
Yes.
can come over and see. And Orlando's just up the road a piece.
Exactly.
That's right.
Melanie?
Well, there will be educational classes, continuing education classes for nurses. This year, it's more centered around the different diseases, the classes that we take. And of course, there will be some celebration. We'll have an awards banquet where awards, scholarships will be given.
Is that
and
to
then-
prospective students in nursing?
Yes, yes,
Ah,
yes.
Mom, Dad, you hear that?
High school students? Or
We haven't started the high school students yet. It's a part of, you have to be a member
Oh.
in order,
member of the
the
organization?
organization in order to receive the scholarship. So
Okay.
So sign up today.
All right. And in addition to that, you're going to be going on a boat ride sometime, a cruise.
yes, we have a cruise for March 2018 where a lot of the black nurses come together and just celebrate. And on the cruise,
From all over the country.
all over the country. We also have workshops there also, so we still learn. Every event we have, we take the opportunity to advance and learn and celebrate as well. So,
Okay, well, we always celebrate. We have a history of that too. But we also have a history of learning and sharing.
Right.
Can they
And-
get continuing education credit?
Absolutely.
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yes.
So they can celebrate and learn
That's right.
and get credit
That's right.
for your license.
That's right.
Mm.
And our organization is not only for active nurses, nursing students, but all realms of nursing, including our nurse anesthetists, retirees. We want to keep them engaged and involved in the community, so we welcome them as well.
Nurse practitioners as well.
Oh yes, all levels of nursing.
The field of nursing has really expanded since when Dr. James's relatives first got involved, and when I first became a physician, because then it was just an LPN, I remember LPNs, and then RNs. But now nurses are becoming ARNPs, where they have specialized training. They
What is
become-
that, Dr. Hill,
Yeah.
for the audience?
Right, and an ARNP is a nurse who's had additional training, and actually many of them specialize, and they work closely with a physician. They're sort of a mid-level physician extender. And many in the audience, when they go in to see their physician, may initially or on an ongoing basis see an ARNP. So this is someone who's qualified, trained to see you if you have kidney problems, and are very, very good. And many of them work in the hospital, others work in the office.
Is that a nurse practitioner, I think,
Yes,
They call it
it's a
something like that.
nurse practitioner. And then there are nurses, as you mentioned, a nurse anesthetist in labor and delivery. All the anesthesia and epidurals are given by someone who's trained initially as an RN, but then went on to get bachelors, many of them masters, who then are trained to do just what the anesthesiologist, who's a doctor, does, which is to give that epidural to take care of pain. And many of nurse anesthetists, when we have surgery on ourselves, are the ones who put us to sleep and make sure we're doing well. So the whole field has expanded.
Right.
You know, comedian George Lopez said, you know, you need to be sure and be nice to all the nurses, but especially your nurses of color, because oftentimes when it's late at night and you start to hurt and you start calling for somebody, if you've been good, they'll hear you. But if you haven't been good, they may not hear you. Now, that's not true, is it?
No.
Okay. I just want to, I'm so glad I asked you all that. I'm glad you're here,
Right.
because I thought he was just being the comic that he is. What would you say to youngsters who may see this and say, I think maybe who are in high school, but I don't know. I want to learn just a little bit more. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to know that the world is their oyster. Nursing can take them all over the world.
Yes.
They can have many different specialties in nursing and in medicine in general. So to reach out to a nurse, whether it's their school nurse or maybe a next door neighbor that's a nurse, and just know that, you know, with education, they can become a nurse and accomplish their dreams.
And also just reach out to the Black Nurses Rock, and if they're in this area,
Right.
the Black Nurses Rock Bradenton, Sarasota chapter, and we'll be happy to assist them on their journey as well.
Absolutely.
And the guidance counselors can do that as well.
Yes.
You mentioned travel all over the world, which I've done. But then there are nurses, Dr. James, who are called travelers.
That's right.
Travelers. And when I first got here, I don't think we had them at the hospital. But then with the shortage of nurses, healthcare organizations like Sarasota Memorial would reach out to the travelers. And these were nurses who were specialists in labor and delivery care or OR care, but they lived in Los Angeles, but they loved to travel. And they would come and spend a couple months here. And then when I went to Africa, there were nurses who did the same thing. They can get an assignment anywhere in the world. And this opens up their eyes. And some of them, that's what they do. They enjoy it.
So you can see the world
That's right.
Yeah.
and somebody else will pay for it.
And pay you.
That's right.
Hey, that's what I mean.
Right.
And at least have a stable job. A lot of jobs aren't for sure. So in nursing, you at least know you have a job wherever you go in the world. They will always need nurses.
Always.
So that's something to think about if you want to go into the nursing career.
So if you want to be sure of a job, join the nurses. They used to say join the army. But then, in those days, nurses were in the army also.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Some of my best friends when I was in the Army were nurses. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
Our founder is a part of the U.S. Air Force. So,
Wow.
yes.
So we got about 2 minutes left, and I want each one of you, nurses, to make your individual pitch to the viewing audience. Who wants to be first?
Yes, I'll go first. Well, we would like for you to be a part of Black Nurses Rock. If you are a person who is positive, willing to be inspired, empowered, and want to give back to your community, we're a group that we think we can help you. And if you want to impact your community, be a part of Black Nurses Rock.
Okay. Madam President, what about you?
We are actually having our presidential gala in December, on December the 9th. So I know that the audience may see more things coming out in the upcoming weeks, and if they would like to join us, we would love to have them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Ms. Franklin?
Also, one of the perks of being a member of the organization is tuition discounts. If you're a nurse and you want to further your education, we have partnered with several colleges and universities, and they are giving our members a discount off their tuition to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You all got the money hookup.
You mentioned that at the end.
And everything is so expensive these days.
Yes.
But so you need continuing education, but if you are a member of Black Nurses Rock, they have the educational hookup
Yes, we do.
where they can help you go back to school at a discount. And Dr. Hill, I'll let you close.
I think what you're doing is wonderful, and that's why I was pleased to talk to you. And I think there are teenagers out there in high school who need to see you all and see what they can become. And I'm hoping to get you involved in doing that at Booker High School and other places. So keep on using your platform.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us and sharing with our viewers today. And remember, we're all in this together, and Black Nurses Rock. Have a great day, Suncoast.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.